Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Jake again. I wanted to show you guys another replay I have against Blackwings. This is a more recent game, unlike my last one, so my build is a little bit more refined since the last one. And so yeah, I figured I'd take you guys through this game. Um, Again, this is a match versus my buddy Jazz, who's fantastic at this deck. I always get really good testing through him. We played a game last night after testing a few different decks, and then we decided to run back a Glad Beast and Blackwing matchup for old time's sake, and I figured I'd show you guys the game because it was a pretty good game. So, he starts on the draw, so let him play his turn. Okay, so he sure set 2 pass, and we have this hand. So, there's a few ways you can go about this. Personally, I don't like, so the only way we're running over Shura, right, is summoning a GB, and Book of Mooning and swing. I don't like that play because there's way too many ways to out it. I feel like you can get very much punished by it, and I'd rather force him to do things. If preferably, I'd rather answer this Shura with a Deep Prison. So, I like the idea of Dust Tornado plus Deep Prison pass, because if he has Icarus, if I Deep Prison his Shura and he chains Icarus to target the Deep Prison and the face down, then I can chain Dust Tornado on his other face down. So this play lets me set 2, it's still Icarus proof, but it also lets me answer his Shura, and at the very least, if nothing is forced with Dust Tornado, I'm also prepped for like an oppression if needed, so. See, I do that and pass. So he draws. He goes swings. We Deep Prison. So no Icarus chained. We didn't end phase Dust here, only because we know that a lot of Blackwings do main deck 1 oppression, and I opted that I'd rather save the Dust. He has 3 back row anyway, and I have at least 2 GBs in hand, so I can afford to lose 1. Shrink helps with that too. Now I have ways to play around bottomless. So we'll play Retiari first. It's the one that I'd rather lose to Deep Prison, and I don't have a good way to stop Deep Prison besides Book of Moon, which isn't preferable. So we're going to go with that. Okay, he Deep Prisoned. And I opt for passing turn here. I could set War Chariot. Right now it doesn't do anything, and I kind of like the idea that right now Icarus proof. I can still stop Whirlwind play if I need to, and I can still, and regardless if I set Chariot, it's not going to stop him like summoning a monster or anything. He can still do that, so. Okay, so he drew and pass. So, because I drew Road, it means at the end of this turn, I'm probably going to be setting my hand. So I'm going to go Bestiary because I'm safe from Bottomless because I have Shrink. He does not Bottomless. So we're willing to risk a second Deep Prison because he already played 1. So we're going to swing. He lets it through. Now this is odd. This makes me think that his back rows are either like I called it right and there's an oppression. There's an Icarus back there, which it's likely there could be an Icarus back there. That there is a Solemn back there. So I try to tag because I have the Dust out to oppression. I check to see if it's okay. He does not chain, so there's no oppression down there. So I decide to look Quarry. Now here I make a misplay. My one misplay this match, I think. So I decide to, before setting, I decide to Dust Tornado target that. The reason is because I just mentioned all the options. I thought that it could either be a Solemn or an Icarus, because at this point, those are the only cards I think he has set. And if it's a Solemn, I really don't want to set 4 and him have Solemn down and like him having heavy Solemn for my Starlight Road. So I figured that. I didn't factor in, I completely spaced out and forgot how many Blackwing decks main deck Legacy of Yada these days. So I do get blown out by Legacy of Yada, and I do go -1, so that was definitely my mistake. So we go with our regular play though. We set 4. We hope the last one's not Solemn. It's an MST, so that's also a fair read of what the card could be. Luckily misses the road. Good. Shrink's probably the best card he could have actually hit here, because a lot of times you get colluded when you try to do Shrink plays, you get beaten by that, whereas Book, Chariot, Starlight Road, this kind of outs everything right now. He is ahead in card advantage, but like I do have board presence, and I do have a solid like setup on board, so that's at least good. Heavy Storm, great for me. We rode. So we've already gone back +1. So we Whirlwinds, okay. So here, we could Book of Moon. I opt not to, because right now, his current field doesn't out either one of my monsters. He can either search for Gale, Blizzard, or Vayu. This play makes me think he has another Kalut in him, but he could also be going for a Gale play. Either way, I'm not too scared of that, because I can Chariot Gale, I can Chariot Kalut, I have Book of Moon for a variety of plays. I think I'm okay here. So I decided to save the book to not chain it there and save it for something else. Okay, let's go for Gale. Now he goes for Brain Control. This is very annoying. I opt to let it through instead of chaining it, chaining Book of Moon. The idea is I can go ahead and Book of Moon Gale if he's going for a tuner play. I do lose Stardust, but that's unfortunate. He does call priority with the Gale, I believe. And then I chain Book of Moon on the Gale, so he can't take advantage of the Quarry. So here he's gonna just like run over my Stardust and beat my face in. So again, we went negative here, but we are in actually a really good state, because right now we are in a spot of we can, even without drawing a GB, I can Laquari swing, tag to Bestiari if I'd like to blow up Whirlwind, and I'm still currently stronger than his Blizzard. I have a Chariot to, or I'm still stronger than his Kalut. I have a Chariot to out another Kalut in hand, or a Blizzard in hand. I just need to ideally draw either another protection card here or another GB. This was probably one of the better GBs I could have drawn, honestly, because this means I can just Geysers before the attack. Any other GB would have meant I Geysers after my attack, but now this is just probably game over, because that's a fantastic draw. So we Geysers, we're going to get rid of his 2 face-ups, because we don't need to trigger Kalut even though we have Chariot. I believe I checked, yeah, he only has 2 engrave. So we're going to Laquaria quest here. Reason is Bestie sets us up for being able to out anything next turn. Yeah, add this to my hand. So between these two, right, I can out anything. So if he has an effect I need to stop, I can out this. If he has a Shura swing over this or a Bora swing over this, I have this to fuse with. Even if he magically goes summon something that runs over Laquari, Chariot should stop anything that allows him to put 2 summons on the board. So no matter what, I should be able to end next turn with a I should start next turn with a GB on board and a Bestiari in hand. So I should be able to play around anything. Now he went for Blizzard here, which he did a very unique, very interesting play, which I don't blame him for the choice. I think this is actually a fine choice, but he went for Blizzard no effect. The idea was so he could Goyo. I think regardless, he's kind of stuck stone cold. If he blizzard there and used the effect, I just chariot and the game's pretty much over. Now that he doesn't, he goes ahead and swings Goyo at my guy. Decides not to take it, so I don't have a way to tag. But he does know I have Bestie in hand, so I think he's just had to just pick one of the two poisons. He just didn't have many good options here. So we're going to Bestie Fuse. We're going to blow it up. We're going to Geyserus. Yeah. And so what we would have done there, main phase 2, is we probably would have tagged out to end with Herc, because he's drawing the 2 cards in hand. I have 1 card in hand and a back row. That's Chariot, so I can kind of play around everything, and it just kind of seals the game there. Definitely a safer play than going Laquaria Quest this turn, because the Quest would have only gotten a Laquaria to my hand. So with a similar play to what he just did, if he played somehow even like an Armwing onto the field through like special summons, then all of a sudden I'm dead in the water. I actually don't have a way to out his board. Whereas Herc means that his only way over my board is a card effect, which I have the Chariot for, and I have a card in hand to stop any sort of fancy spells or traps that's going to out my board as well. So, game 2. Okay, so this starting hand, I have more GBs than I'd already prefer. I prefer to open up 2, but it could be better, but whatever. And I also do have 2 of the weaker GBs. At least it's not Secutor, though. So we're just going to see what happens here. Okay, he opened up with the same play as game 1. Okay, well, we got another protection card, so that's not bad. Top of my head, I do not remember what I did here. Pretty sure I set Deprison Compulse. That sounds right to me. I think I said Deprison Compulse. I did think about it. So yeah, it's not as ideal as the Dust Tornado Compulse play, or the Dust Tornado Deprison play I had last game. But we do want to Deprison array this board, or this Shura. The Shura is very dangerous and very sketchy. The Compulse is to try to help dodge a Dust Tornado that could or could not be there, or an MST. And then also the Compulse acts as a way to protect our GBs if needed. And it can out a Synchro if it happens. I don't think he's going to Synchro, but, you know, so we went with that play. Super unfortunate for us, he did end phase dust our Deprison anyways. So super unfortunate, because now our real out to Shura right now is Book of Moon, which isn't ideal, or Compulse, so. So yeah, we just let this through. We're monster flooded. This is not ideal. Hoplomus is a wall, so it could hopefully get there. I think it's very unlikely that he doesn't have Collude in hand, though. But we are drawing so many monsters right now that we need to take the opportunity and the chance of getting a free +1, and we need to just go for the Hoplomus here. I did not set a Book of Moon because I don't want to get Icarus +1. If I go ahead and like hit Hoplomus, like he can like Icarus or whatever, like I would rather just not have more things on field. Hoplomus tag to Ramillo, or tag, I can't even tag Ramillo, never mind. But Hoplomus tag to something, he can just go ahead and Icarus the other 2. I'd rather just leave minimal cards on field if I can. So he whirlwinds, he borrows. So I decide it makes the most sense here to go ahead and Compulse, because this is hoping, because right now, if I let this search through, then if he didn't have a Collude, he grabs a Collude, which means my Hoplomus play is dead. So I need to hope he doesn't have a Collude in hand, and just Compulse the Bora here. Show him the hop, he does have the Collude, so this game is probably going to be won by him. We were just unfortunately flooded a bit too much in monsters this game to start off with. Much more than preferred. but we're gonna put in a fair effort. We're gonna try to come back here. So we're -1 on card advantage, but so he has board presence, and we need a way to get through his board. So there's not a clean out to even this android here. Unfortunately, it's 1700 defense for Book of Moon. Darius is the best thing I have in hand. So I think what we need to do is we need to get rid of this Whirlwind, because Whirlwind's going to generate too much advantage. So what we're doing is Darius, we're going to swing. We let attacking step pass. I was talking to him on the mic. I let him know that we went past the declaring attack step, so we're on the attacking step, so he can no longer deprison me. So I go ahead and Book of Moves Android. I want to make sure that I can bestiary the Whirlwind. I just can't let it get more advantage. The idea here is I'll set Solemn. Sure, my bestie's going to die. I have Solemn for any sort of emergencies. And ideally, I'll draw like a Test Tiger next turn or some sort of way to run over a guy. Maybe like a Shrink or something to run over a guy with Red Tiari, so I can tag to Darius to get back the bestiary that's going to go to grave. So I figured that's at this point, that's going to put me to the best position to potentially come back this game, because I can get back bestiary from grave, Geyserus, maybe catch up. But that assumes that I draw something decent next turn. So he's going to have Dark Arm. I could have showed the Solemn, but he literally shows me that he has Blizzard, he has Bora, I have Solemn, he has Solemn. I'm very, very dead. It's like not even close. So that game's pretty much over right there. All right, next game. Okay, cool. So, this is a solid opening for us. I believe our opening here is, we just want to go ahead and Dust Tornado. We go Dust Tornado Pass. We could go Dust Tornado Hoplomus, right? That does risk Colute. I also just don't think that I'm in a rush to set a monster right now, because I have Cyber Dragon plays to the following turn, so I think I'm just more comfortable with the Dust Tornado play. I have ways between Cyber Dragon and Cat to out an established monster, so yeah. DD Warrior Lady, okay. So I assume that's part of his side deck. So he summons that, swings. Not a bad card versus me, so I get that. Okay, so we don't end phase Dust, because again, we know that the deck is definitely going to side some sort of combination of like Oppression, maybe even Skill Drain. So we're holding it right now because we need to always have an out to Oppression. So here we're just going to Cyber Dragon first. See what he does about it. Ideally this trades with the DD Warrior Lady, and it does, which is perfect. So now we're going to opt to set the Hoplomus because we've used the Cyber Dragon. He only has 2 cards left in hand, and at this point I'm more willing to risk a summon with Colute, or Share with Colute. I don't want to sack a second card because again I want to be Icarus proof. So he does go to end phase Dust, my one set, which unfortunately for him I have been holding this Dust here. So I'm going to now Dust his other back row. And I'm going to still end phase, use Dust's second effect to set Trap Hole. So I'm still Icarus proof because I have 2 guys. And we're in a good spot. So he double whirlwinds me, summons into the Trap Hole. Ooh, that is rough. This game's basically over now. He goes to protect this guy. I already had the cat, but I mean, at this point, I show him I have bestiary, and I believe he scoops right after this. I misclicked with Hoplomus, but I Geyserus. Target both. Swing. Yeah, he scoops. So yeah, good game. I hope that you guys were able to learn something from this. I know this is my second Blackwing gameplay video. I know a lot of people too ask me about test videos versus Blackwings versus in Hero Beat, because those are some of the two hardest matchups. So I'll try to get some Hero Beat matchups for you guys. But while I had another Blackwing one, I want to show it to you guys. So yeah, I hope you like it. Any questions? Feel free to leave any comments, and I hope you all have a great day.